Ever heard a drum get banned and then turn into an entirely new instrument that the whole world now celebrates? That happened in Trinidad, and the story is wilder than you think. Today, we're diving deep into the music of Trinidad, the sounds that fuel carnival, shape identity, and literally gave birth to the only acoustic instrument invented in the 20th century. By the time we're done, you'll know how calypso, soca, steel pan, chutney, and a few surprise genres became not just entertainment, but the heartbeat of a nation. Stick around, because once you hear how this music was created, you'll never listen to it the same way again. Let's start right here. Trinidad isn't just some island that likes a good party. Music here was born from struggle, protest, fusion, and yes, plenty of fun. Picture this. Enslaved Africans brought their drums. French planters brought their masquerades. Indian laborers brought their tablas and harmoniums, and all of it mixed inside this cultural melting pot. The result? A soundtrack unlike anywhere else on Earth. But the story doesn't begin with today's carnival sound trucks or glittering steel bands. It goes way back. Imagine being on a sugar plantation in the 1700s. People aren't allowed to speak freely, but they can sing. They can chant. They can use rhythm to send messages. That's where Kaiso, the ancestor of calypso, first took root. Kaiso was storytelling through music, often in a French Creole language, carrying coded messages and satire. It wasn't just about rhythm, it was about survival. As time passed, calypso grew sharper and bolder. By the early 1900s, calypsonians were like the news anchors of Trinidad. They sang about politics, scandals, even international affairs. One famous song, FDR in Trinidad, celebrated when Franklin D. Roosevelt visited the island in 1936. Imagine turning on your radio back then and hearing world events not from a journalist, but from a singer spitting witty rhymes over a group. Steel pans aren't just noise. They're tuned by hand with hammers until each dent creates a perfect note. A full steel orchestra can sound like violins, horns, even a choir. And every year at Carnival, hundreds of players gather for Panorama, the ultimate steel band competition. If you've never heard 120 pans playing in perfect harmony under the stars, you're missing something close to magic. Now, let's rewind to calypso for a second, because calypso didn't just entertain. It poked fun at politicians. It highlighted injustice. It made people laugh at the powerful. The Mighty Sparrow, often called the Calypso King of the World, had lyrics so sharp they could cut like a knife, but still make you dance. Lord Kitchener, another giant, became a national hero by carrying calypso to England after World War II. These guys weren't just singers. They were cultural warriors with a mic. Then, in the 1970s, something new bubbled up. People loved calypso, but they wanted a harder beat, something more danceable, something that fused with the Indian rhythms living side by side in Trinidad. Enter soca, short for the soul of calypso. Lord Shorty, later known as Ras Shorty I, is credited with creating it. He blended calypso with Indian percussion, added bass lines that rattled your chest, and pushed the tempo. It was like calypso got an energy drink. Soca soon split into different vibes. Power soca with rapid-fire beats made for jumping and waving at Carnival. Groovy soca with smoother melodies perfect for swaying. And raga soca, where dancehall influence crept in. If calypso is about clever storytelling, soca is about raw energy and movement. The soundtrack of Carnival trucks blasting down the street, that's soca. Artists like Michelle Montano and Bunji Garlin turned it into a global sound, pulling in influences from EDM, Afrobeat, and reggae. Today, soca isn't just in Trinidad. It's in Toronto, London, New York, anywhere there's a Caribbean diaspora. Here's the challenge, though. For all its creativity, Trinidad's music has struggled to break fully into the global mainstream. Reggae had Bob Marley. Afrobeats has Burna Boy. But soca, chutney, even calypso haven't had that single breakout star who defines the genre worldwide. Part of it is timing, part of it is marketing, and part of it is just how local and rooted in carnival culture the music is. The question is Can Trinidad's music evolve without losing its soul? And here's where the development gets interesting. Modern soca artists are experimenting like crazy. You'll hear EDM drops in Kessa's songs, Afrobeat grooves in Nyla Blackman's tracks, dancehall fusions from Fayan Lyons. Steel pan bands are performing pop covers on YouTube with millions of views. Chutney artists are blending Hindi lyrics with reggaeton beats. The sound is traveling, slowly but surely. In fact, steel pan orchestras now exist in Japan, Sweden, the US, and beyond. Imagine, an instrument born from rebellion in Trinidad, now taught in schools around the world. The climax of this story is simple. Music in Trinidad isn't just about notes and rhythms. It's about identity. It's about taking pain, struggle, colonial bans, cultural clashes, and spinning all of that into joy. Music here proves that no matter what you take away from people, you can't take their creativity. They'll find a new sound, a new beat, a new way to dance. And that's the real magic of Trinidad's music. So let's bring it all together. From the storytelling fire of calypso to the party-pumping soca, from the shimmering steel pan to the spicy chutney fusions, Trinidad's music is one of the world's richest musical tapestries. It's a reminder that innovation doesn't always come from fancy studios.